Welcome to the Cuddy D Show, everyone. My name is Steve, and Happy New Year, everybody. And before we begin the show, let's time to introduce the panel for 2014. And once again, back, Vicky. What's up, Vicky?
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Happy New Year.
Excellent. Next up, Donna. Happy New Year, Donna.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. How are you?
And J-Dog. What's up, J-Dog?
J-Dog 2014. Ready to roll. 2014 here.
Hey. New Year's resolutions, anyone?
I don't make them and I don't keep them.
Okay. At least you're honest.
That was my last licks that is now ruined.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. We can always present that again later. That's okay. Mm-hmm. What kind of hat you have on,
That's to all my PBA brothers out there, my PBA hat.
Okay. Giving props. Okay.
That's right. Giving them props because they keep us safe morning, noon, and night, 24/7. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, it's time for us to do what we do best here on the Cuddy D Show, and that's telling it like it is, saying the things that you all at home are thinking in your minds, but don't say. So we here become your voice. Right, Vicky?
We do.
You're welcome.
We do. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. That's right, you're welcome.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Well, 2014, hey, let's start the show off. Sex in Hollywood. Check this out. With Rihanna channeling her inner stripper in videos and on Instagram, Britney Spears whipping women on leashes in videos half naked. Nicki Minaj braless and spilling out of her jacket recently on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Well, Ellen didn't mind.
Well, she didn't mind. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson in her undies on the cover of Esquire. I didn't see that one, damn it. Lady Gaga showing up everywhere and anywhere in a thong. And Miley Cyrus prancing around half naked doing her twerking dance. Young Hollywood stars seem to have hit a new low. I mean, why are these young actresses, models, so oversexed, so determined to show it all and proud of prancing around? Is it just for, is it easy? Is it just for the publicity?
I was going to say, why?
Yes.
Because who's talking about it?
Yeah.
Everybody. We're talking about
We're
it.
talking-
It's one of
yeah.
our topics on the show. That's why they do it. They're smart. They're genius to do it. They get so much attention. The crazier, the more sexy they are, the more naked they are, the more attention they get. Genius.
But
so genius. Perfect.
they're already really talented and really popular, though. That's what I don't understand, right? I mean, they're in the limelight now. They're the now thing.
That's kind of boring, though. Just being in today's day and age, just being talented, if you think about it, is boring. They need to be extreme in some kind of a way. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Yeah,
but I think that's what they do.
You know, Robin Thicke's mother. I saw an interview about after that whole incident.
Who Miley Cyrus was. With him?
Yes, that was her son, and she's actually a soap opera star, and she got on TV and she said, I am absolutely appalled at what she did to my son. And she said that, and it was like the son is in his 40s and this is just a kid, and she turned it around, which it did look like that. And he's married, and it was just, and she was rubbing, and you saw it, right?
And her butt cheeks were like flapping around. And
really embarrassing to girls, to women. And then my daughter, who's 10, said, Mommy, I don't want to idolize someone like that. See? So it can go backwards.
But I don't condone it. I think it's ridiculous, but they just get so much attention from it. And I think it winds up, in the long run, furthering their career. Which
she didn't get my attention.
No.
But we're talking about her, so she.
How bad it is.
Yeah, but that's attention. Good or bad. They still, they still get it, and I think that's why they do it.
So you know what I think? I think the next show, I think J-Dog
should twerk.
You should twerk with a thong on.
Well, you know something? I was thinking along those lines.
Don't do it nude.
I think that we should have invite our many millions of fans to be able to have a twerking contest on the Cuddy D Show. And, they can, go through email? What's the email address, Cuddy D? That they can get a hold of you. Write us at Cuddy D. That's right. Tweet us, right? At Cuddy D Show. Let us know if you're in, and you'll be judged by the expert panel here of twerkers. And basically what we will find out, we will crown you the twerking champion.
And you will get.
That's right. A Cuddy D Show mug.
Minus the $200 fee that he usually
That's right. You won't even have to pay the $200.
We'll even clean off the lipstick for you.
There you go. Now you'll have her DNA. We'll even sign it for you. The winner of the twerking contest will get that. So there you go. Let
Sign
us
up
know.
now.
You'll be invited here to the studio on the Cuddy D Show to do your twerking talents.
Send photos first.
There you go.
Okay.
And the
Sounds
judges
like
will
fun.
be very fair.
Well, those photos better be pretty recent, and they better be you. You know what I'm saying? You know, people are pretty, crazy with their photos and stuff like that.
Keep
But,
it clean.
yeah,
clean.
exactly. All right, let's get this next topic here. Pretty fun here, I thought. A French hand sanitizer company has been turning heads recently by sending a group of pretty women around the streets to grab random women's manhood and giving it a good squeeze. The purpose of the manhood fondling was to spread cancer awareness and encourage testing. Now, J-Dog, you have a problem if you're in France and a pretty woman randomly comes and fondles your junk and cancer awareness. It's for a good cause. I mean, is it going over the edge? I mean, what? Come on.
Well, if she's going to do that and keep me aware, I want a donation. Yeah, she got to donate then to the awareness.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, she got to donate.
Well, it's kind of weird. I say it's coming together now. Hand sanitizing, so I guess
Well,
cleaning the hands and
Actually, in recent
cancer.
news, though, they've been this whole sanitizing aspect. Have you heard this story?
I have.
And
It's not really working.
Right.
Or that they say that there's a chemical that they've been putting in all of the sanitizers, like even the soaps that say antibacterial. There's a chemical or something that now they're saying may cause more harm than good, or that it's actually not sanitizing like we thought it was.
Right.
So I think they're going to try to hold the companies more accountable to like prove that when they put antibacterial or proven to blah blah blah, they want them to actually prove that whatever, I forget what it's called, but if you look at the back of you love reading the backs of things, the back of like the soap that there's this one ingredient, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but this one ingredient is now in question.
I will find out what it is and I'll get back with you.
But it's
I'll do my
interesting because
research.
we've been using, it's probably been about the past decade that the hand sanitizers came
Huge.
on the market, and
Yeah,
it
everybody's
was.
constantly
And now all of a sudden it's no good.
yes.
Yeah.
Just like everything else they come out with. All these medications, it's like after a year, these companies make billions of dollars, and then,
In 20 years,
yeah.
oops.
And then 2 o'clock in the morning, you're half asleep, you hear this commercial. If you take this medicine, you may
Experience.
crap your brains out for a week and a half. You have
you won't
symptoms
have
of this and
headaches
that.
anymore.
You won't have headaches anymore, but you're going to crap out your liver tomorrow. It's like all this stuff, but they made billions of dollars.
Yeah.
All these companies.
And it may, the last one, always, and may cause sudden death.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
It's difficulty
Terrible.
breathing.
Yeah.
Sudden death, chest pains, problems with
All kinds of
erection.
stuff.
Seizures.
Sexual dysfunction.
dysfunction. But you won't be depressed anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever.
For every
So go
one-
out and get yours today.
Exactly. For every one thing it helps you with, it screws you up 10 other ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what's funny about
It's
it.
Cuddy
ridiculous.
D, what are we? The laboratory rats.
The
Yes.
laboratory
Oh,
We're the
rats.
laboratory
the thought of
rats.
that
We're
just
just
makes
running
me
around
crazy.
in this maze here on Earth, and that's what we do.
And they test us with medications and stuff like that and see what works and what doesn't.
It's true.
Yeah.
Even back in, I guess, the 50s or 60s, like when birth control first came out, it was such high doses of it, and there was some other women's things that came out, and then all of a sudden, 20 years goes by, and they realized that they were too strong of doses, and women were having all kinds of issues with them. So it's crazy to think, like, what happens 20 years from now.
And what can you
Yeah.
do? You know what? Try suing one of these multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies. There's no way in hell you can do it. They have the best attorneys in the world. You can't sue them.
And all the money to back it.
Yeah. So what are you gonna
Nothing.
do? Nothing.
I mean, I know they have the clinical studies with things, but I don't think they necessarily follow the people over 10, 20,
Hell
30
no.
years.
Hell no.
So they'll do like a clinical trial or something for maybe 6 months, but they're not necessarily, that's not really giving them enough, time elapsed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, now we can save money on the hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
We won't need that anymore.
No. That's
Oh, man. Check this one out. A recent study from freecreditscore.com surveyed 1,000 unmarried adults and asked them, would you hesitate to start dating someone with poor credit? 40% of women said yes, they would hesitate before dating the guy. And 28% of men said they would hesitate before dating the girl. Thoughts, views? What do you all think of that?
You have to be careful with people's credit, especially if you get into a relationship with them and then you try to buy a home and a car. And I think I was telling Vicky about how I co-signed for, somebody was buying me a car, and I co-signed for it because when we got to the signing table, they said, "Oh, he needs your signature." So I signed for it, and then 2 weeks later, he took the car and left. And I was sitting there, so I got I went to a judge, and I said, "Why am I take me off this car? I don't have it. He could go drunk drive and kill somebody. And then whose car is it? Mine. Not to mention, I wanted to drive the car." So I went in front of a judge, and the judge said, "Nope, sorry, you signed for that car. The car is for 4 years. You're responsible for it. See ya." I couldn't believe it, and I just sat there praying with my fingers crossed for 4 solid years. Not to mention not being able to get another loan. So you have to check.
But I think it depends
You
on
really
where
have
you
to
are
check.
in your life age-wise too. I mean, 20 years ago, I don't think I would have cared.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
If my boyfriend or whatever had bad credit, I'd probably look at it as, a project to make it better.
Yes.
But, now that I'm older, hell yeah, I'd be looking at that.
So it's like, hey, how you doing? My name's Steve. My credit score is 720. Am I good?
Right. But bankruptcy. Now this
Right.
person had a bankruptcy too, and that's why he got declined. So it's
Yeah.
just you definitely
Oh, yeah.
have to have a drink and ask.
No, you have to.
But you
You,
don't really think about
you
that
have
when
to
you're
know.
younger.
You really
No, you
don't.
don't.
really care.
You don't.
At least
Crazy. Recent new study shows hair growth success in mice may suggest new baldness treatments. Transplanting human hair onto the backs of mice may lead to a breakthrough for baldness treatments in both men and women, scientists said.
You and J-Dog must be really interested in this.
Oh, yeah.
That
According to the
means
study,
ridiculous.
in the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, more work must be done before the method can be tried in humans. Why does it matter if people go bald? Nothing wrong with being bald. J-Dog, what's up?
For men.
You know
I
something?
don't care if I go bald.
Years ago when I started losing my hair, and I went to these Bosley clinics or whatever they're called, right? And I actually wanted to see what they do. So I sat in their chair, and they're over there primping you and getting you ready and all of that. Next thing I know, he's taking measurements of my head, all these different types of things. He's putting arrows on my head and lines, and I said, "Well, what are you doing?" I look like one of those things that cropped things that they do, in the middle of fields or something.
Crop dust, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
whatever they call that. So basically, he says, "No, we have to measure everything over. We got to make sure the hair is going to be ready." I said, "You know what? I'm done." I couldn't sit through the whole thing anymore. And you know something? I've been bald ever since, and I love it. I have no problem with it. I'm secure with it. So what? So these studies with these mice, all I think they're doing, Andy, Cuddy D, is I think all they're doing is just trying to get, they're trying to do something with the population of the rats. They just want to try to get rid of them.
Well,
That's my idea.
The female perspective. I mean, do you guys feel? I mean, is bald sexy on a man? I mean, I don't know.
It
I mean,
depends
the
on the
horseshoe look or all bald. I mean, I got the horseshoe going. Whatever.
It
You know what I'm
depends on the
saying?
man.
Yeah.
Sexy
Now,
on some, and not so sexy.
yeah.
on
Now I
others.
would never
Yeah.
Okay,
date
all right.
someone. It was just my preference not to date someone that was bald as I was younger. But the person who I was with that messed me up on that car was bald.
Yeah, there you go. So
That
that
left
left a bad taste.
I'm done with it. I'm done
Right,
with the baldness.
right.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
No,
you got to know
I'm
the
kidding.
credit report.
Yeah.
You got to know the
No,
credit report.
they were talking about.
Bald and bad credit.
Yeah,
not working.
not good.
They were talking about women. I mean, you tell me. Does baldness happen to women a lot? I don't. I mean, I'm just asking.
Not as much. I think women have more issues with hair thinning.
Yes.
Not necessarily going
Yeah.
bald.
So you will lose your hair, or
Not like men do for whatever the reason.
well, you won't go bald, but you'll lose it, but just it'll
It
just get
thins
thin,
out.
thin
Thins
out.
out.
Yeah.
Thins out.
So if they can, do some research and
Yeah.
Fluff it up.
fluff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fluff it up.
Did you ever see those old ladies, that lose their hair, Andy, and they dye their hair blue, so this way you don't
blue,
see the
orange,
so this way they don't see the thinness of it.
It's like a-
they do that on purpose. It's like a light blue. Yeah. Did you ever see that? Especially the older ladies, all light blue. They're the 80, 90-year-olds, and I don't know why they do it blue, but
It's your favorite color.
yeah,
You're
well,
trying to cover gray. and it
maybe
just
it
goes-
could be, yeah.
Oh man, hey, we got an email alert. Email to the Cuddy D Show panel from Jessica in New York, saying, "I'm 18 years old and I'm dating someone of a different race. We have been together for more than a year. The problem is my father is very racist. Woo. Every time I sneak out to visit my boyfriend, my father wants to know who I'm with. I tell him I'm with friends, but he knows I'm lying. I want to tell him who I'm dating, but I know he's going to be judgmental and rude if I introduce him to my boyfriend. Any advice on what to do? She's 18 and an adult. I mean, she lives at home. I mean, any advice for Jessica from New York? She's 18, but she still does live home with mom and dad. And she didn't say what race, but he's a different race. I mean, in today's day and age, what advice can we give Jessica in New York tonight?
You know something with Jessica, I mean, the bottom line is she's got obviously a problem with a family member that is racist.
Her dad.
So right off the beginning there, you know, you're not going to change that overnight. You know, and some people that's so ingrained in them, you're never going to change it. You know, people are going to be racist. That some people were grown up and their parents taught them to be racist, and they learned it from their grandparents to parents and to kids, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, why do you think we still have like the KKK down in Georgia and Alabama and stuff like that? I mean, those people qualify as being racist, I would say. Oh. You know, you have got the skinheads. You know, they're racist. I mean, there's a lot of different things. You've got every race that you have, black, Hispanic, Asian. There's racism in every single culture. So, I mean, there's nothing you can basically, you know, if that's the way a person's raised, you've got to either be able to tolerate that or deal with it and just go from there. You know, you're never, ever, there's always going to be racism. No matter, if you're human, there will be racism.
Well, my advice may be just to, unfortunately, not bring him over to the house while she's living under her parents' roof, because it's just going to, you know, cause more issues. And if she's really serious about this guy, then, you know, maybe it might be a good time to think about moving out on your own, and then you can see him and, you know, have him come to your place without, you know, the fear of your father being a jerk to him.
Right,
because as J-Dog said, the father's probably not going to change. But possibly if you guys stay together for the long haul.
That's what I was going to say.
And
he'll accept it, and he should.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then there is that possibility.
Yeah, and then the father will be dead by then. So, you know, and everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. And then you have him move in, right? You know, and all that stuff.
That's all.
And sleep in your father's bed.
Yeah, and that's right. And he'll be rolling in his grave, as they used to say.
But just remember, and with all this, you have to remember that whoever you meet, you have to know what's inside. You have to care. You have to look inside and look past the outside, whatever color, size, bald, you know, heavy, skinny.
You would think we all know that by now,
but people, and people don't, and they don't practice it, and it's just. And the biggest thing I think is to show your children. Because my daughter she gets so upset when she hears anybody saying anything against anyone, race-wise or anything other. She's already being taught not to do that. Yeah, I won't have it.
That's a good role model.
It always starts.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Good and bad.
Very sensitive topic coming up next, everybody. Check this out. Freddie Lee Hall was convicted of murdering a pregnant woman and a deputy sheriff in Florida 35 years ago. Got that? Now his case is heading to the Supreme Court. At question is whether he should be put to death being mentally retarded in Florida, where the death penalty is legal. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear this case over how judges should determine whether a death row inmate is mentally disabled and thus ineligible for execution. Florida, it's legal death penalty down there. Now it's like, being mentally challenged, retarded, whatever, politically correct, whatever it is. But you know what? I'm going to have to go on this side and say, no, just because you're mentally retarded and incapable doesn't give you a free ride to go and freaking kill somebody.
Right, or two people.
Two people. He killed the sheriff and a pregnant woman.
Right.
I don't care what the hell. I don't care if that person was born mentally retarded. His or her butt should go to jail. No. Death penalty? I believe in a death penalty. That person should be shot and killed the next day. Who wants to go next?
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel here, Cuddy D.
Hey man, we don't hold
By
no
the way,
punches here.
it's not the politically correct way to say. I'm just You're not supposed to
Well,
say that word
This show
anymore,
is
but
not about being
know.
politically correct.
Just saying.
Now, if you're mentally able to kill somebody, then you
Yeah.
should be mentally able to sustain the consequences.
Right.
That's just the end of it. There's really no gray area there. You killed these people, especially the way it was done, then you should reap whatever is coming to you, just like I would, or Vicky, or
Because
any
if you
of
think
us.
about it, anybody who takes another life, there's something mentally wrong with them, whether they're labeled that way
Yes.
or not labeled that way.
Good
so,
point.
You know.
Good point. Really.
The only way you can stop all the killings in this country is, let's say somebody kills somebody in a certain way. They hit them over the head with a hammer, they run them over, whatever the
Do it
case
to
may
them.
be. You do the exact
Yes.
same thing to them,
Eye for
and
eye.
everyone
I
knows
agree.
that if you're going to be able to kill somebody else the same way you killed somebody else, you're going to get killed.
Right.
And you know something? That will stop probably 95% of all the murders.
Yeah.
The other 5% of the people won't care because they're psychopaths anyway.
Wasn't it done that way?
Well, in many
And they
cultures
usually chop
back
your
then.
hands off.
That's
Well,
right.
in certain
Yes.
countries, if you steal something, they chop your hand off.
That's right.
And then
Yep.
you have to live with just one
That's
hand.
right.
And, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, they did a lot of things barbaric back, in the 15th, 16th centuries.
The
But you know
hangings?
something? You had a lot less crime.
Because now we are too politically correct with everything, and
Yeah,
you know,
it's-
it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. You have to watch everything you say, and it's just crazy. But again, we all choose to live here.
Where are we gonna go?
Yeah, exactly.
Pakistan.
Another email into the Cuddy
Lots
D
of money
panel.
there.
Yeah.
John writes into the show saying, I am a happily married, heterosexual, cross-dressing male. Got that?
Let's think about that.
Happily,
Say it again.
happily
Okay.
married, heterosexual,
Heterosexual.
cross-dressing male.
All right, so he's basically wearing her 90s then.
So he's basically
Yeah.
married, but he's like a RuPaul.
Okay.
Is that really
Right?
being heterosexual? True.
Like, well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
My wife understands and is supportive, and we have a wonderful life together. During the past week, I have been caught unexpectedly by 3 different neighbors at home and while shopping. We are now in a state of panic. We are not sure what to do. Cuddy D panel, do you have any suggestions for John from New York?
Stay home.
what do you
keep
say to
it-
this guy?
keep it
Yeah.
inside.
Do it in your bedroom only.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very simple.
Why are you going outside of your home doing that? Durr.
They don't want to. They don't.
Elevator.
Sometimes they don't want to
Yeah.
hide though.
Yeah.
But then you shouldn't be writing into the show asking for advice.
Yeah, exactly.
They
simple
don't want to
fix.
hide.
Well, maybe he doesn't shop at the right place. Maybe
That's
he's not
true.
shopping at Victoria's or something. I mean that's probably the biggest problem, Andy.
Probably the shopping.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
shopping. All right, another email. Oh, wait, email to Vicky and Donna. Frank from Virginia writes in saying, my fiance and I made a resolution to lose weight together for our wedding. Everything has been going great except for one thing. Because men lose weight faster than women, I now weigh less at 6 foot 1 inch than she does at 5 foot 4 inches. She already has self-esteem issues. Ooh. I want to look good for our wedding, but not at the cost of my fiance's hurt feelings. Vicky, Donna, advice for Frank. What can I do to appease my wife, his wife to be, for Frank?
You can both diet, and your bodies are different. Accept the facts that men will lose weight differently than women, and you have to love the person. Once again, true or false? Love the person who's inside. It doesn't matter what you look like outside. You have to love the person inside first.
And your wife should want you to look good, so you shouldn't feel guilty that you've lost more weight than she, because if she truly loves you, she should want you to look your best. And, because he's worried that, because he lost more weight.
He lost
Than
more
she was
weight.
He's
able
going to
to.
look better
Yeah.
than her?
But
This is what I'm saying.
Right, but so she should want him to look good.
Right,
And not-
exactly.
yeah.
But she's
should-
probably not keeping up to pace with him, but
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
whatever.
she should still, if he's healthier and feels better and looks good, then she
Yeah.
should be happy for him, whether she's not able to do it at the same pace as him.
Well, maybe
But-
she has issues.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then
Yeah.
if she's not supporting him, then she, has her own insecurities.
I think there's some
and stuff.
vertical issues here. He's 6'1" and she's 5'4". I mean, come on, he's banging his head here on the headboard, I mean, what are you going to do here? Come on, Cuddy D.
Ooh.
6'1" to 5'4"?
She's probably one of
I
those
mean,
little-
come on.
She's probably one of those little 5x5s.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know what she is, but
Man.
man.
That's
6'1",
crazy
I mean,
as hell.
5'4", that's what, about 15 inches or whatever. That's a sizable difference
That's
there.
crazy as hell.
You know, you can't. What do you have to do? You have to strain your back to go down and kiss her, and you know, what's she kissing? His belly button? I mean, come on. You know, what's the deal here?
What's Terrence shaking his head in the back room? Where's your mind going? I know what you're
Come on out
thinking.
here and tell us what you think.
All right, check this one out. Getting close to the end of the show. Drivers in New Jersey soon will be pulled over for snacking, smoking, or putting on makeup behind the wheel under a bill that has been advanced in assembly. Do we agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you guys do your makeup all the time. I see you on the parkway all the time and stuff.
You know,
Right?
any distraction should be
Snacking,
frowned
smoking.
upon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many accidents and people are so careless on the roads. Whatever we can do to make it better, I'm all
Right.
for it.
How many people, though, listen, I admit it, I go to Double D's in the morning, get my coffee. I mean, I'm not going to drink my coffee while I'm driving,
You know what, though? I have a little bit of a theory about it, though. I think when you're older and you've been driving, when you've been driving 10, 20 years, I believe this. I think you're a little bit more capable of doing a few things while you're driving. Drinking, your coffee, fiddling with the radio. But I think new drivers should, under no circumstances, be doing anything but their, eyes on the road and their hands on the wheel. But I do think, the longer you drive, you're a little bit more capable of maybe, eating your McDonald's or your sandwich.
You're
or whatever it is.
experienced. That's right.
Yes.
You should
Okay.
be
I mean, I still think
concentrating,
you shouldn't do it, but I think we have a little more experience behind the wheel.
I agree.
Concentrate on the road, though,
Yeah.
because you could be at a light with your kids in the car and somebody could rear end your car and you could be all done because they're doing something. That's what I worry about, somebody texting and then hitting you and you're not
Scary.
ready.
That's right.
Scary world we live in.
On that note, it's time for Last Licks. And first up on the panel, Vicky, do you have a Last Licks for this week for 2014 or New Year's resolution?
Well, the way we started the show about New Year's resolutions, aren't they dumb? I mean, why do we do them? It's like we make them and then we don't keep them, and then you get upset at yourself for not keeping the New Year's resolution. So why make one? I don't make one because you get upset. Like you make it, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna not drink as much, I'm not gonna smoke, and then 3 weeks goes by and then you break your
and then
resolution and then you wind up feeling bad.
It's not a Happy New Year then.
Yeah, stupid. Don't do them.
Donna, what do you got, Donna?
Well, I have the shopping and the pushing and the shoving and the rudeness. Now, I was in a store and I needed a coupon. It was a 20% off coupon in Bed Bath & Beyond, and everybody had them but me. So I had this big purchase, and I wanted the coupon. So the lady in front of me whips out this card deck full of all 20s, and I said, "Oh, ma'am, would you be able to give me just one of those?" And she said, "No, I'm not giving you my coupon. I'm coming back here." By the time she comes back here, you open the mailbox, there's 5 more in there. I had to pay full price.
I would have given you my coupon.
Yeah, and then the lady behind me whips out a wallet.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm not even going there. I'll just pay." But the pushing and the shoving and the rudeness in the store, try to be courteous to us, really, to everybody. It's just
J-Dog,
not
what do you got?
happening.
I'm just going to use my last lick to give props out there to Terrence in the back room and production, and Tom back there, the studio manager, and Mike over here on the camera. I want to give it
Yes.
start off 2014.
Can't do it without you.
Happy New Year, guys. We can't
We
do
love
it
you
without
guys.
you. That's right.
And on that note, everybody, have a great 2014. And as always, remember, if you ain't real, then you're just nothing.
Peace.